You have walked into rooms where silence shifts before you speak. People turn not because of what you say, but because of what you carry. Some lean toward you as if drawn by gravity, while others recoil unsettled without knowing why. Have you not noticed how often strangers confess their secrets to you as if compelled? How many times have you seen someone's mask falter under your gaze? How many have loved you intensely at first, only to resent you later when they could no longer hide? This is the rare aura of the true empath. It is not sweetness, not sentiment, but revelation. Your presence acts like a mirror that strips away pretense. The dishonest feel exposed. The manipulative feel threatened. The wounded feel seen. Is this not why your life is marked by extremes? Why people either call you a blessing or accuse you of being too much? The aura you carry is both gift and burden. It heals those ready for truth, but it unsettles those who would rather remain in illusion. Do you not already sense that the intensity others react to has little to do with charm and everything to do with truth? So the piercing question stands before you. Will you keep apologizing for this aura dimming it to soothe those who fear it? Or will you dare to carry it fully, knowing it transforms everything it touches, even when that transformation feels like rupture? You live in a world that rewards performance, not depth. From childhood, you were told to be polite, agreeable, easy to handle. Yet even then, did you not notice how people reacted strangely to you? Some trusted you too quickly, while others seemed uneasy without reason. Your very presence stirred responses that felt out of proportion. Why did adults confide in you when you were still a child? Why did peers sometimes resent you without cause? And even now, why do strangers sense they cannot lie in your presence? This is the hidden weight of the empath's aura. It is not about kindness alone, but perception. You see beneath surfaces. You sense what is unsaid. You carry wounds that sharpen your ability to read others' wounds. And because of this, you make the unconscious conscious, whether people want it or not. Do you not already know that your aura exposes more than it soothes, Carl? Jung warned that what is repressed does not disappear. It leaks, it projects, it erupts when mirrored. Your aura functions as that mirror. The liar feels the pressure of their falsehood when you are near. The wounded feel the ache of their unhealed places. The manipulative sense their mask cracking under your gaze. Some respond with gratitude, feeling seen for the first time. Others respond with hostility, accusing you of being too sensitive or too intense. But is their discomfort not proof that your presence pierces where they refuse to look? The context is merciless. Your aura is both light and demand. It attracts those longing for authenticity and repels those addicted to illusion. You cannot walk unnoticed because your very being calls forth reaction. The question that presses on you is simple but severe. Will you continue dimming yourself for comfort's sake? Or will you carry your aura fully knowing it is not weakness but truth incarnate? To understand why your aura unsettles, attracts, and exposes you, you must turn to Jung's psychology. He mapped the structures of the psyche that govern what you carry and why others react as they do. Your aura is not mystical sentiment, it is the visible effect of deep psychic processes. Each layer of Jung's thought explains why you radiate differently, why others cannot stay neutral in your presence, and why this gift often feels like a burden. The persona, the fragile mask of others. You learned early that the world lives in masks. People craft personas, polite smiles, professional roles, practiced kindness to secure belonging. But your aura cuts through them. You feel the dissonance when words say, "I'm fine," but the eyes leak sorrow. You sense when someone flatters to conceal envy, when a colleague's charm hides contempt. Have you not noticed how often people accuse you of seeing too much? Their discomfort is not with you, but with the collapse of their persona under your gaze. Your presence silently calls out what they strive to hide. Do you not already feel that your aura exists because you never trusted masks, not even your own? The shadow, the hidden core of your sensitivity. Your aura is rare because it is forged in wounds. You know darkness within yourself, and because you have touched your own shadow, you cannot help but feel it in others. Every person represses anger, envy, selfishness, grief, but in your presence, those repressions stir. You do not expose them intentionally. Your very being radiates honesty, and dishonesty trembles against it. Is this not why people sometimes resent you without reason? Their shadow awakens in your aura, demanding attention. But is it not also why the broken feel safe with you, sensing you will not recoil at their wounds because you have faced your own complexes? Why you awaken pain in others? Complexes are the knots of old wounds, unresolved traumas that bind emotion to memory. Jung taught that they live autonomously, erupting when triggered. Your aura touches these hidden places in others. A colleague suddenly defensive, a partner suddenly accusing, a friend suddenly distant. All may be reacting not to you, but to their own complex, stirred awake by your presence. Do you not wonder why people sometimes lash out with disproportionate anger, as though you pressed a wound you never touched? Your aura bypasses their defenses and touches their complexes. This is why people feel both drawn and threatened, because you awaken pain they have long buried. Projection, the double-edged mirror you carry. Because you carry depth, others project onto you what they cannot face in themselves. Some idealize you as savior, imagining you will heal their wounds. Others demonize you as threat, accusing you of arrogance or cruelty. In truth, both are illusions. You are only their mirror. How many times have you been placed on a pedestal you never asked for, only to be torn down later when you failed to play the role? How many times have you been accused of motives that were never yours? This is projection. Your aura does not create it, it draws it, because people cannot look into themselves without first casting the image onto you. Do you not already feel how much of others' love and hatred toward you is less about you than about their own unclaimed shadow? The self, the source of true aura, at the center of Jung's thought is the self, the wholeness you are meant to embody. Your aura is rare because it reflects this process of individuation. You do not radiate perfection, you radiate integration. The strength of your aura is not that you are endlessly good, but that you refuse illusion. You are willing to feel what others deny. You are willing to hold paradox, light and dark, love and anger, self and other in the same being. This integration produces presence, and presence cannot fake. Do you not already sense that the stillness others notice in you comes not from performance, but from the depth of someone who has faced themselves? The interplay, why your aura cannot be neutral. Taken together, these foundations explain why your aura is both gift and burden. Persona collapses under your perception. Shadow stirs in your presence. Complexes awaken when you draw near. Projection attaches itself to you, whether as savior or threat. And the self radiates through you, demanding wholeness rather than illusion. Is it any wonder people cannot remain indifferent? Your aura is confrontation. It heals those who are ready for truth, and it unsettles those who are not. You do not choose their response. You only reveal what is already there. So the piercing questions rise. How much of your exhaustion comes not from what you do, but from the reactions your aura provokes? How many relationships in your life have collapsed because your presence made masks impossible to maintain? How often have you mistaken resentment for rejection when it was really the shadow recoiling from its own reflection? And most urgently, will you continue to dim your aura to preserve others' illusions? Or will you accept that its power lies precisely in the way it unmasks? Because Jung's insight is merciless. What you integrate becomes your strength, and what others repress becomes their mask. Your aura is rare because you have faced what they will not. And for as long as you carry that truth, you will remain both a refuge and a threat, a healer and a mirror, a presence that transforms everything it touches. The task before you is severe but liberating, to stop apologizing for this aura and to begin carrying it with responsibility, knowing that its light is not sweetness but revelation. Your aura is not theory, it is lived reality. You see its effects every day, though perhaps you have not yet named them. The rare aura of the true empath manifests across every domain of life, exposing what others hide, inviting what others suppress, and provoking reactions that often feel extreme. Look closely at the patterns and you will recognize yourself in them. Workplace. The unmasking of colleagues. You sit in a meeting, and before you even speak, you sense the undercurrent of competition or hidden resentment in the room. A colleague presents confidently, but you hear the tremor behind the voice. Without trying, you notice the dishonesty in a manager's reassurance, the anxiety behind a teammate's silence. Have you not felt how others suddenly grow defensive under your gaze, as if you accused them without words? You carry an aura that reveals so. Coworkers either confide in you or avoid you entirely. But ask yourself, how many times have you ended up carrying burdens that were never yours simply because your presence invited confession? And how often has your refusal to play along with masks cost you favor, leaving you isolated though you spoke no harm? Relationships. The intensity of being seen. In love, your aura draws people like moths to flame. At first, they are intoxicated by your depth. They say no one has ever understood them as you do. They mistake your perception for salvation. Yet soon, the same depth becomes unbearable. Your partner begins to feel exposed, unable to hide flaws, unable to sustain illusion. Do you not recognize how often passion turned to resentment? Not because you changed, but because they could not endure being truly seen. Your aura demanded truth, and when they clung to masks, the bond fractured. The intensity you carry reveals whether the relationship is rooted in honesty or in pretense. How many times have you asked yourself if love failed because of you, when in truth it failed because the mask collapsed? Family. The weight of silent roles. In your family, you became the absorber. From childhood, you sensed the unspoken, the disappointment behind a parent's silence, the rivalry hidden beneath a sibling's laughter, the anxiety tucked inside the family's smiles at gatherings. You were drawn into the role of peacemaker, confident, keeper of secrets. Did anyone ever ask if you could bear that weight? Have you not noticed how relatives lean on you for balance, yet rarely offer it in return? Your aura stabilizes, but it also unmasks. A parent feels shame exposed, a sibling feels envy revealed, an uncle feels dishonesty confronted, yet no words were spoken. Is it not true that holidays often left you drained, not because of what was said, but because of what you could not stop sensing? Friendships, the double edge of safety. Among friends, your aura often becomes the safe harbor. People tell you things they tell no one else. Confessions, betrayals, doubts, fears. They say they trust you completely. But over time, some grow resentful, accusing you of judgment when you merely listened. Others drift away, unable to bear how your presence highlights their contradictions. Do you not see the paradox? Your aura attracts confession, yet it also provokes flight. You become the mirror they cannot shatter, so they flee instead. How many friendships have ended without explanation, leaving you wondering what you did wrong, when in fact you did nothing but remain true to what you are? Strangers, the startling openness of encounters. Even with strangers, your aura operates. A cashier suddenly tells you about their divorce. A passenger on a train reveals their grief. A stranger's eyes linger unsettled, as if you stripped away their armor without a word. Do you not marvel at how often people confess to you within minutes of meeting? And do you not also notice how others bristle, avert their eyes, grow cold, as if threatened by a presence they cannot name? This is not accident. Your aura does not allow neutrality. It invites or repels, heals or unsettles depending on what the other person is ready to face. The common thread, the aura that demands truth. Across workplace, love, family, friendship, and strangers, the theme is constant. Your aura confronts. Some embrace it as salvation, others recoil as if burned. The dishonest feel exposed, the wounded feel seen, the manipulative feel threatened. You do not choose these reactions. They arise because your aura strips away illusion. And so the piercing questions press against you. How much of your exhaustion comes not from effort, but from absorbing the fallout of others' masks collapsing in your presence? How many of your relationships have been lost not through betrayal, but through the simple refusal of others to endure truth? How much of your loneliness is not rejection, but the consequence of carrying a light too bright for those still hiding in shadow? Because Jung's warning echoes here. What is repressed will return, and your aura is the mirror that forces it back. You carry a presence that heals the ready and unsettles the unwilling. The cost is heavy, but the gift is undeniable. Your life will never be marked by neutrality. You will always provoke reaction. The task before you is not to apologize for this, but to discern who is drawn because they seek truth and who flees because they cannot bear it. For only then can you stop mistaking rejection for flaw and finally honor your aura for what it truly is, not burden but revelation. Your aura is not an accident, nor is the intensity of others' reactions random. There is a mechanism, psychological, emotional, behavioral, ethical, and existential, that explains why you unsettle as much as you attract. To understand it is to stop confusing others' discomfort with your flaw. To ignore it is to remain enslaved to their responses, mistaking your gift for a curse. Psychological, the mirror of the unconscious. Psychologically, your aura works like a mirror. Others carry shadows they refuse to face: anger, envy, selfishness, fear. When they meet you, something in your presence reflects these back at them. They do not see you, they see themselves exposed. This is why some call you judgmental, even when you say nothing. This is why others confess without prompting. They feel their own repression pressing to the surface. Do you not already notice how the traits you are accused of are often the very traits the accuser cannot face in themselves? Have you not been called arrogant when you were only confident, or accused of coldness when you simply refused to collapse? Their words reveal more about their shadow than about you. Emotional, the absorption of what others project. Emotionally, your aura absorbs projections. People offload tension they cannot carry, unconsciously treating you as container. They weep rage or confess, then walk away lighter while you remain heavy. This is why you often feel drained in crowds or after conversations. You carry not only your own emotions, but the unprocessed fragments of others. How many times have you felt exhausted without knowing why, only to realize you absorbed everyone's unspoken weight? And how often have you blamed yourself for being too sensitive when sensitivity was simply your system responding to burdens not your own? Behaviorally, the polarizing reactions you elicit. Behaviorally, the mechanism is polarization. People do not remain neutral around you. They either gravitate, seeking your light, or recoil, fearing exposure. This is why your life is marked by extremes: intense loyalty or sudden rejection, deep trust or inexplicable hostility. Think of how often relationships began with rapid intimacy, only to collapse when the other person realized they could not maintain their mask around you. Or how often strangers confide secrets while others grow curt or defensive without reason. Does this not explain the paradox you live with daily? That you are loved fiercely and despised quietly, drawn to and avoided, blessed and cursed, all by the same aura. Ethical, the confrontation with falsehood. Ethically, your aura demands truth. You may not intend to confront anyone, but your presence exposes dishonesty. The liar feels pressured, the manipulator feels nervous, the hypocrite feels unmasked. They call you difficult, critical, or too intense, but what they truly mean is, you saw through me. Your aura is not just sensitivity, it is confrontation. You force others to meet themselves, even if only for a moment. Ask yourself, how many accusations against you were not about your actions, but about their discomfort with being revealed? How many bonds broke not because you failed, but because you refused to collude in deception? Existential, the reminder of the unlived self. At the deepest level, the mechanism is existential. Your aura reminds people of the lives they have not lived, the truths they have not claimed, the authenticity they have abandoned. Every time you stand in your wholeness, you awaken in them the ache of incompleteness. For some, this awakens gratitude. For others, it awakens rage. Have you not felt the room grow colder when you speak truth others avoid? Have you not seen admiration turn to resentment once your integrity exposed someone's compromise? This is not about you. It is about the unlived life of those around you. You become the symbol of what they fear to face. The interlocking cycle. Together, these layers form a cycle. Your aura mirrors the unconscious. Others project onto you. Their behavior polarizes. Your presence confronts falsehood. And beneath it all, you remind them of the unlived life. This cycle repeats, creating the extreme reactions you experience daily. Some bonds grow deeper, others collapse. Some people are healed, others are enraged. And you, caught in the middle, often mistake the chaos for your fault. But the truth is merciless. You are not the cause of their reaction. You are the catalyst. The severe choice. So the piercing questions rise. How long will you confuse their rejection with your flaw? How many more years will you apologize for reactions you did not create but merely provoked? How often will you dim your aura to keep others comfortable when the discomfort belongs not to you but to their own shadow? And most urgently, will you keep treating your rare aura as burden? Or will you finally honor it as revelation? Because Jung's warning resounds, what others repress will be projected, and what is projected must land somewhere. Often it lands on you. But his promise is also clear. Once you understand the mechanism, you no longer mistake it for weakness. Your aura is rare because it does what few dare. It unmasks. The question is not whether others will react, but whether you will continue to betray yourself by carrying their reactions as proof of your inadequacy. The truth is severe but liberating. You are not resented because you harm, but because you reveal. The aura you carry is confrontation in silence, truth without words, presence that unmasks. And once you understand this, you stop apologizing for it. You begin discerning instead who is ready for truth and who will recoil. For only then does your rare aura cease to drain you and become the very strength that sets you free. To carry a rare aura is both a privilege and a burden. Without discipline, it drains you. With discipline, it refines you into strength. The work ahead is not to escape your aura, but to steward it. You must learn to protect it, to use it consciously, and to stop apologizing for it. The task is severe but necessary because if you neglect it, your presence will remain both misunderstood and misused. Observation. Noticing the pattern instead of blaming yourself. The first application is observation. Each time someone reacts strongly to you, whether with confession, hostility, or sudden intimacy, you must pause and ask, what in me did they see, and what in themselves did they feel exposed? Instead of collapsing into guilt or shame, track the pattern. Who leans in and why? Who recoils and why? How many of your recent conflicts were less about what you did and more about what your aura revealed? You cannot prevent reactions, but you can stop misinterpreting them. Observation transforms chaos into clarity. Boundaries, protecting what is not yours to carry. The second discipline is boundaries. Your aura draws projections like metal draws magnets. People will offload their pain, guilt, and secrets onto you without consent. If you do not protect yourself, you will confuse their burdens with your own. Ask yourself daily what belongs to me and what belongs to them. Did that anger I carried home yesterday truly start with me, or was it planted by someone who used me as container? Without boundaries, your aura becomes a sponge. With boundaries, it becomes a mirror, reflecting without absorbing. Shadow work, owning what others try to hand back. Your aura unsettles others because you embody integration. But if you neglect your own shadow, you will continue to be baited by their projections. Every trait you deny in yourself will be hurled back at you through others. To break this, you must own what you fear: anger, selfishness, ambition, envy. Ask what accusation always wounds me most. What trait in others do I most despise? These are the signals of what you have not yet claimed. Once owned, no one can use them against you. Shadow work transforms your aura from vulnerability into strength. Discernment, choosing where to place your energy. Not everyone is meant to stand in your presence. Some will cling, others will attack, many will project. Your task is not to convince them otherwise, but to discern who is ready and who is not. How many of your broken bonds collapsed because you stayed too long with those who feared truth? How often did you dim your aura to maintain peace, only to end drained? Discernment means refusing to waste your presence where it cannot be honored. Give depth only where there is capacity. Withhold when there is not. Reframing from burden to calling. Perhaps the hardest step is reframing your aura. You have long treated it as curse, too intense, too heavy, too much. But what if the very thing you call too much is exactly what the world most needs? Your aura is not accident, it is vocation. You were shaped by wounds that sharpened perception, by shadows that demanded integration, by truths you could not ignore. Ask yourself, how would my life change if I stopped apologizing for this aura? How many relationships would be purified if I accepted that I am not here to soothe illusions but to reveal truth? Reframing allows you to carry your aura not as shame but as responsibility. Daily fidelity, small acts that preserve strength. Grand declarations will not protect your aura. Daily fidelity will. Each day, commit to one act that safeguards your energy solitude instead of constant availability. Rest instead of endless service. A clear no instead of a resentful yes. Ask yourself nightly, did I honor my aura today, or did I betray it for comfort? Did I use it consciously, or let it be drained unconsciously? These questions are not optional, they are survival. Over time, small fidelities accumulate into resilience. Your aura ceases to exhaust you and begins to sustain you. Relational testing, letting the aura purify bonds. As you apply these steps, your relationships will be tested. Some people will withdraw, accuse, or resent you for no longer carrying their illusions. Others will adapt, respect, and deepen because you remain true. This test is painful but essential. Ask yourself, who grows smaller when I protect my energy, and who grows stronger? Who thrives when I dim myself, and who thrives when I shine? The answers reveal which bonds were built on masks and which were built on truth. This is not rejection, it is revelation. Service, giving without collapse. Finally, remember that your aura is not meant only to confront, it is meant to heal. But healing does not require erasure. Service is sacred when it flows from fullness, not depletion. Where today can you give without losing yourself? Where can your presence illuminate without absorbing? Where can your aura uplift without being consumed? This is how you honor your gift, not by scattering it everywhere, but by offering it where truth is welcome. Because the truth is severe but liberating. The rare aura you carry will never allow you to live unnoticed. You will always provoke reaction, admiration, or resentment, intimacy, or hostility. The task before you is not to silence the aura, but to steward it. Stop apologizing. Stop confusing rejection with flaw. Stop dimming yourself to comfort others. Carry your presence consciously with boundaries and fidelity. And the piercing question remains, will you continue treating your rare aura as burden, begging to be less, or will you dare to live as one who carries revelation, mirror warning, and light in a world addicted to illusion? For only then does your aura cease to exhaust you and begin to set you free. You now stand before a severe but liberating truth. The aura you carry is not decoration, it is revelation. You will never move through life unnoticed. You will always disturb those who cling to masks and heal those who long for truth. The weight of this gift cannot be denied. The only question that matters is whether you will keep apologizing for it or finally live as one who carries light that cannot be dimmed. Ask yourself directly, how many years have you spent trying to shrink so others would not feel exposed? How many relationships did you maintain by dimming your presence just enough to keep illusions alive? How many times did you confuse rejection with your flaw, when in reality it was only another's refusal to face themselves? And most urgently, will you betray yourself again by hiding? Or will you step into the fullness of what you were always meant to carry? Jung's warning is merciless. What is denied will haunt, and what is repressed will return. Your aura guarantees that others' repression will surface in your presence. But his promise is also clear. The one who integrates their shadow radiates wholeness, and wholeness is the rarest power of all. So the call to action confronts you. Stop dimming, stop apologizing, stop mistaking intensity for flaw. Protect your aura, not by hiding it, but by stewarding it with boundaries, clarity, and fidelity. Today, choose one act of alignment. Say no without shame. Withdraw from falsehood, or give only where truth is honored. Because the truth is severe but undeniable, the rare aura you carry is not weakness, it is destiny. The world does not need you smaller, it needs you whole. The question is no longer whether you have this aura, you do. The only question is whether you will finally dare to live as mirror warning and light.